All right, welcome to Retro Rewind. This shirt is a 3X, which is my size, but it's still tight on me for some reason. I don't know why. But yes, Retro Rewind today. Like I said, I'm going to try to do 2 of these a week for the month of February, as February is birth month, and I look back in my childhood, and that's what Retro Rewind sort of is. So we're going to talk about one of the biggest things in my childhood, Power Rangers, which will be half of the reviews. I'm going to try to do like Power Rangers stuff throughout the month. Mostly on the Wednesdays, I think, but at least once a week. So we're looking at the Green with Evil 5-part. It's the first multi-part episode thing. Just called a mini-series, I guess. In Power Rangers history. And we're looking at it today. And I want to complain only about the DVD. So I understand that you can get the Green with Evil separate on its own DVD. It's green. It's got Tommy on the front as the Green Ranger. I get it. But for the purposes of this Season 1, Volume 1 DVD, it's on 2 separate discs. Like the first 4 parts are on disc 2. And then the last part's on disc 3. And it sucks. First of all, I have to... like if they decide to make this 4 discs instead of 3, right? And then you just kind of mix it around a little bit. You could have the first 4, I don't know. But like, one, I have to kind of jump through episodes because I want to watch them all in succession without having to watch an episode, go back to the menu, watch the next one, go back to the menu. I hate that. So I have to skip through like 6 episodes first until I get to it. Then I just watch the first 4 and I gotta switch the disc, put the next one in. Some would say just get the Green with Evil DVD. But I don't think that's the last time that they do that with these, where it's multi-parts are put on separate discs, and it's really weird. Because you think, okay, you watch them on TV and they cut them between days, but you get the DVDs and you should be able to watch them in succession. And I get it, you just take the disc, put it in, but that shouldn't be the thing, you know. But let's talk about the actual episodes here. And so this is very 90s. I'm just saying. I felt very old watching this. And a show that's almost 30 years old. Next year it will be 30 years old. And then I will officially be very, very old. I'm going to be 35 this year. And I don't know. I already feel old. Knowing that this is going to be 30 years next year. I was 6 years old when this came on. And this... So going into it, rewatching this for the first time, and had to be a couple of years. I thought this was mostly serious, and I think one of my biggest problems is that this is a big, serious storyline, and I get it. It's a kids' show, but the Bulk and Skull goofy stuff, I mean, stuff at the beginning with where they, bully Kimberly, and they're, scared away by Tommy doing this. That's funny. But when Goldar is attacking the city and the whole juice bar is shaking, and Skull's like, come on. And, come on, let's go. The whole building's going to fall. And Bulk's like, no, I have to finish my ice cream. I'm like, dude. The building's going to fall. It doesn't, because the juice bar has a longevity in the original run here, but it also doesn't seem very Bulk-like, because Bulk and Skull are those that run at the first sign of danger. I understand Bulk is fat, but would he really, if the whole place was shaking, feeling like it's going to fall down on him, would he really just say, wait, I'm going to finish my ice cream? No. Even I, a fellow fat ass would not finish my ice cream. If something's gonna look like it's gonna fall out on me, I'm out. I'm not gonna finish my food. That's fattest, and I won't take it. And that leads into another section where they're commandeered a bus somehow, and they're driving, and then they're just captured by a gold dog who's like, "Hey, I have a couple of your friends. You call that Broken Skull. Surrender to me." And I'm like, kill him. I'm sorry. I know that the Power Rangers are supposed to protect everyone, but these guys, at this point, I'm going to do a video on the story arc of Broken Skull and how they progress through the seasons, but at this point, they were just your standard bullies. So, I let them go. I hate it when people talk in the hallway. You done? Yeah. So, where was I? Is he knocking on doors? So yeah, a lot of my problems with this come from the fact that you're in a very serious storyline. There's a lot of serious stuff going on, and you gotta insert Broken Skull comedy because it's a kids show, and it's just like, you know, I don't know if it was really necessary. I mean, understanding a few things here and there, but the fact that they just sort of throw it in when they're supposed to be like the one that really gets me is the whole I'm gonna finish my ice cream even though the building might fall down. No, I'm finishing my ice cream. Sorry. No, it just doesn't make any sense. So let's get into the meat and bones of this. Finally, after almost 8 minutes in. So there's a karate tournament, which is at the Juice Bar, of course. And Tommy and Jason are the last two. Tommy's the new guy. And it comes to a draw. And I feel like that's like a message to kids. Like, hey, fighting doesn't solve anything. Nobody needs to be a winner. And I'm just like, Tommy should have won. And not because he's my favorite. But I think you should have had Tommy beat Jason here. Because at this point, Jason has been this big guy. He's been the top guy in the karate scene, right? He's the leader of the Power Rangers. And by having Tommy beat him in this, he's like, he thinks no one's going to beat him. He's going to go into this. And then he's kind of brought down. I mean, he's not cocky or anything. Don't tell kids that. But having Tommy beat him where he thinks, oh, this is a new guy. He's not going to do anything. Kind of turn things around. But no, it comes to a draw. And then they're like, oh, hey, you want to hang out later or whatever? It's like, yeah, that's cool. And it's like, okay. This is for kids to just like, be friendly to him and whatnot. But, yeah, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I think I found my Green Ranger. And so she sends the putties to fight him, and he defeats them using a trash can lid. Very Captain America of him. But, yeah, and so she takes him, turns him into the Green Ranger with some Japanese stock footage, and he becomes a Green Ranger. And I am going to comment on this right now. There is a difference. When you look at the Japanese stock footage of the Green Ranger and the American footage, you can tell the difference. In the Japanese stock footage, it's very rigid. It's very, solid. The shield is very solid. It looks like a very solid thing. But in the American footage, it looks like foam of some sort. And that was done because both Jason Devin Frank and the stuntman couldn't move in it. So they had to make it more mobile for him. So I understand that, but it doesn't look the best. And you can tell when it's stock footage and when it's not, especially now. And so he makes the Green Ranger, and the Green Ranger invades the command center. And the one thing that has always confused me, and I don't know if this was in the earlier versions, because honestly, when they started re-airing them, like because I don't even know this, they redubbed some of the stuff for the redubbing, like Goldar's voice changes here and there sometimes. Like in the first episode, it sounds like this, and then for the rest of the episodes, it sounds like this, you know. And they kind of redubbed some of the earlier episodes, I think. Especially with Zordon, he sounds different in the episodes compared to later. And in this one, when the Green Ranger shows up, he starts causing all the mayhem and stuff. Zordon is yelling out, "No, Tommy, no!" And I'm like, wait, how the hell do you know who he is? It's always bugged me if that's a redubbing thing, that they redubbed him or something. And maybe this was just the early dub, and I don't remember it being like this. And then later they added different dubbing things. I don't know. There's also a dubbing mistake later. It sounds weird where it's Jason and Tommy, and they're in their Megazords or whatever, and he's like, "Time to stop you," and you're, "No," and that's not just David Frank saying no. It's an obvious overdub. It's like, "No," and it's like, that's not Jason David Frank. That no. That's the only time I caught where it's not him. There was later episodes where they try to overdub Jason when he clearly wasn't there to do it. You know, it's just but here the dubbing is mostly fine. And as a kid, you know, you think it's actually them, which sometimes I think it is, but like, you know, I just think, you know, and I just think that the dubbing now, you know, once you're an adult, you realize that most of it is dubbed over with their voice, with stuntman or Japanese footage. It brings it down, but you understand why as an adult. As a kid, you're like, it's not them, but as an adult, you're like, oh, you understand why it's not them. You know, it's not them. They can't do everything. You know, they had to put the footage, you know. And it also plays into later when Scorpina is introduced, which I'll get to. But, so yeah, Tommy destroys things and sends Zordon away, and then they can't make contact with him, so they can't teleport, so they use the Rad Bug, which is this Volkswagen car that they use to fly. And they get there, and after a while it just sort of disappears, and you don't see it there, even though it should still be sitting there. But how big is the command center that it could hold the Volkswagen Beetle within it? I don't know. And you know, Alpha is all bugged out, you know, and you got a virus in them, they can't get Zordon. And I realized watching this, the only reason why Zordon is taken away, mostly, if that was originally in there, is so he can't tell them that it's Tommy. That's what it seems like to me, is that, you know, he knows it's Tommy, so if he's, you know, somehow he knows it's Tommy, we need to have them find out at the end of the second to last episode so we can lead into the finale. And it's just, I don't know, yeah, Zordon's taken up. And then Rita makes Goldar big, and so they fight him, but the Green Ranger infiltrates the Megazord because he has a power coin, because of course they do that. Well, you have to have power coin to enter the command center, so yeah, and then so in the command center, and they're in Megazord 2, and he goes in there and he starts wrapping things up, and they all get sent out of the Megazord. So the Megazord's kind of taken out of commission at this point too, at least for now. And yeah, so there's a lot that goes on in these 5 episodes. I'm not going to go through everything, but like, Tommy starts acting like a real dick to everyone, and I don't understand. Like, I've said in the past, I've made fun of the fact that nobody knows that the Power Rangers happen to be the 5 people who wear the same colors as the Power Rangers every day. Tommy, from the very get-go, has been wearing green. Mysterious Green Ranger has shown up about the same time that Tommy has shown up in town, and they never figure it out. Zordon was smart enough to figure it out, yet no one else can figure it out, and they're actually surprised, even though Tommy has been behaving weird. And later, Jason disappears after talking to Tommy, because he's like, oh, hey, I can't, something's come up and I can't meet you anymore, so that's cool. And then he gets teleported, and then he's sent to fight Goldar, and the Green Ranger shows up, and then he's teleported out of there because they fix it, and they're like, because they talked to Tommy and said, "Oh, I haven't seen him," and they're like, oh, "Jason, are you okay?" So yeah, I remember last thing I was talking to Tommy, and then I was there fighting Goldheart, and the Green Ranger showed up, and he's like, "Wait, Tommy said that he didn't see you. He didn't duck to you or anything." And then also when they follow Tommy, the putties show up and don't attack him, and they're like, well, "Why didn't they attack him?" And they can't put two together. Are they stupid? Especially Billy, who's like the smartest one. He's got his own lab. He's fixing the command center as they're talking. Can't put two and two together. It's just, and then they have to be stupid so that when the reveal happens, they can be like, "Oh, no way!" And yeah, I'm gonna point out this, like, when they do the reveal, and he's like, "Kimberly, look." I'm like, "She's looking at it. What do you mean, Kimberly, look?" Also, I want to point out that the acting is not the best, and as much as I love Jason David Frank, this early acting from him, it's a little wooden. He does get better, but it's a little wooden at the beginning here, but it's fine. You know, it's the start of something. It's the beginning. This is very cheesy stuff. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that happens throughout the middle part of this. There's your sort of, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. They summon out Scorpina, who has been gone for 10,000 years or whatever, and she's released. But then when they make her grow big, she's a different monster, and that's because of stock footage, I guess, even though Scorpina is stock footage. I don't know. She's a different monster when she grows than this. Maybe it wasn't Scorpina when they grew in this stock footage in the original Japanese show, but they just said it was here for that sake, I guess. I don't know. And I guess I never realized that the Green Ranger doesn't get his Dragon Zord until like part 4, I think. And it takes a while. He gets the Sword of Darkness, which they say will keep him mine forever. But here's the thing. She's like, "Oh, you have to earn it." So, yes, a test with the putties. I'm like, what? You already seen him beat up your putties, which is how you chose him to be the Green Ranger. So you're going to send more putties out to fight him to see if he's worthy enough to hold an evil sword. What? You already know he can defeat them. Why would you? Because we need to incorporate the stock footage, I guess. And then he gets that sword, and then all of a sudden later they're like, "Oh, if you destroy the sword, then he won't be evil anymore." And I'm like, wait, no, he was evil before he had the sword. What does that have to do with anything? It's all very weird. And yeah, they get Zordon working. This is after they find out the truth about Tommy, because they can't restore him before. There's times that they do, and I'm sitting watching this, and I'm like, you know what? It occurs to me that they find out, and as soon as they find out, they get Zordon back, and it's like, yeah, they did that so that he couldn't ruin it, because he already knew who the Green Ranger was. And if I forgot to mention this, but if you're asking, what about Alpha? Well, apparently his memory banks were damaged, so he doesn't remember what happened completely. So, yeah, convenient, right? But yeah, eventually Jason is able to destroy the evil sword, and Tommy is brought back to being a good guy. And so they immediately bring him into the team, even though he just tried to kill them. And he was, really? Even he says, really? After all this? And he's like, "It wasn't your fault. You were under her spell." I'm like, well, yeah, but it's just like, "Hey, you tried to kill us. Welcome to the team." It's like, well, wait a minute. I know it wasn't his fault, but you don't know how long has she had that coin? You don't know if he demorphs after they destroy the sword, but how do you know that he's not evil? That when he morphs, it's not going to make him evil again. It's just, I don't know. It's very quick to be like, he almost destroyed us. Welcome to the team. It's like, I don't know. It's all very rushed, this ending too. To be honest, they don't even go back to the juice bar. I mean, there's a juice bar scene where they're like, the Power Rangers saved us. And like, what about us? We helped. And it's like, what? You got captured by the monster on a boost, for God's sake. and you didn't want to leave before eating your ice cream. Bulk and Skull are unnecessary in this, except for the beginning where it shows that they're afraid of Tommy. I kind of like that, but it wouldn't be necessary to throw them in for stupid jokes in the middle of something that's supposed to be very serious, you know. But yeah, and so then we get something that's really rushed after they become team. They morph, and then we show the Dragon Zord can combine with the saber-tooth tiger, Triceratops, Pterodactyl, and Mastodon to form the Dragon Zord warrior mode or battle mode, whatever it's called. And I think he has a warrior mode without them. Maybe not. No, maybe I don't know. Maybe battle mode. I don't know. But it's done very quickly, and it's like to compare nowadays with that. Like the later seasons would spend time. They wouldn't reveal like right away the Megazord. They have different Megazord configurations that they wait to reveal, and not to say, "Hey, look, we have a new sword, and you can do this and this and this with it. We can put it together with this and that." No, they waited on it, and but here it's like very forced, thrown in exposition where it's like, "Oh, now the Dragon Sword is here. You can combine it with these four and make the Dragon Sword battle mode." And it's just like, okay, I get it, but I get you showing the kids, buy our toys. That's what you're doing. Hey, look, if you buy the Dragon Sword, you can combine it with these other four and make a new toy. Buy our shit. That's basically all it is. And hey, you're gonna have Gin Ranger, action figure, and we're gonna make the Morpher with the power coin that disappears during the earlier scene. Like when he first enters, he doesn't have the power coin in his Morpher, but he has it in his hand. But then it's gone, and it's not put back in the Morpher. Is he holding it the whole time? Who knows? But anyway, yeah, and they're like, Power Rangers! And it ends, and it's just like, it's very cheesy, very 90s. But I love this show, and yeah, my intention was to go through a bunch of Green Ranger stuff. I don't really know if I can, like, Green with Evo. There's also the Green Candle, Green No More, White Light, Return of the Green Ranger. There's a lot of green I can do. But I want to do other stuff, and I want to go into other Power Rangers stuff. Who knows? But yeah, rewatching this, also the quality, like when they put these on DVD, they didn't mess. Like they didn't mess. I mean, it's in that little 4.3 because that's what it converts to on a Blu-ray player when you watch it in there. But like the quality, they didn't mess with it and try to restore it or anything. I know they didn't release these on Blu-ray, but I feel it would look better. I don't know. It's still grainy like it was back then. Yeah. Oh, like I was comparing to nowadays. You actually see the Rangers out of morph suit fighting the putties, and I like that. I like the whole martial arts aspect of these early seasons, is that you actually see them fighting. Nowadays, well, you can't do that. That's not politically correct. You can't do that. That's no, can't show the children fighting because we gotta coddle our children. They can't handle any of this. If your children can't handle this stuff, it's because you raised them, you babied them, and now they're big babies and they can't handle it. I could handle it when I was 6 years old. All right, I was running around going, wah. Maybe that's their point, is you don't want kids doing that, but I don't know. These are probably the same people that took away Michelangelo's nunchaku, the nunchucks, and gave him a grappling hook instead. Fucking censors. But yeah, nowadays you just get shooting and laser blasting, and it's lasers, not bullets, because bullets are bad, but lasers are okay, I guess. But yeah, you get laser blasts and stuff nowadays, and there's weapon stuff, but you don't see much with weapons, but laser blasts are okay, and I guess they do still fight, but it's not as choreographed as it once was. And even in the Disney era, they had a bunch of freaking explosions for no reasons. Thanks, Bruce Kalish. I'm just saying. Maybe I want to do some crossover stuff. I know Forever Red is on my docket. I've sort of reviewed it when I did that DVD review of that Power Rangers, whatever it was. But the Ultimate Rangers DVD. But I can go into more depth if I just focus on that and not try to rush the basic plot points. Who knows? But yeah, so Green with Evil. What are your thoughts on it? Comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one. May the power protect you.